Hey everyone, it is 5:43 p.m. on Tuesday, May 5th, and this is episode number 18 of Weekday Coronavirus-Driven Mind Stuff. My name is George Ortega, and let's see, things are going well. Had a long talk. I was up all night, literally till 7 o'clock, talking to a very good friend. And you know what's interesting? I have Sprint. I don't know what she has, but basically the sound quality of Zoom is so much better than the sound quality of the average cell call that we basically, we spoke for hours. I mean, I think we probably spoke at least 5, 6, 7 hours. Huh? But anyway, so like I just got up at around, I don't know, 3 or so, or 4 or whatever. So like I just had to do a lot of stuff. Then I've got to I'm going to be late for a 6 o'clock meet up. This virtual support group that I go to, um, and then I've got to open up my room at 9. So I hope you guys are having a good day. Heard some good news about Miami. Apparently, they have decided to, not require residents there to pay either their rent or their utility bills. So that's got to be a godsend to a lot of people who have lost their jobs and are unable to, no longer able to pay those bills. So I had attended, I don't know if I spoke about it. It's totally, it doesn't seem like I have. I think it was yesterday. I attended this group, and it was spiritual. It was like so amazing. There were about a dozen of us, and we broke into rooms because I can Zoom. You can have as many breakout rooms as possible. So we were split into rooms of 2. And for example, one of the exercises was that we were supposed to gaze at each other's eyes. And again, the person with whom I was gazing my eyes, I think she lives, I think, in India or something. I don't know. But, this had, and then we were supposed to kind of after the minute, go back into the main room and just basically describe the experience. And it was so cool. So what was really cool was, and they had another exercise, and the leader she's so spiritual, so smart, so intuitive, so good, so positive. One of her exercises was, she asked us all the question, describe what you're going through now in terms of a rose, a bud, and a thorn. So what are you kind of really grateful for that's happened? What's just blossoming that you're, in your life now? And what thorn? What are your challenges? So we all went around. And then there was then we did another eye gazing. And in that one, we gazed for a little while, and then we expressed to each other rather than the group we were feeling. That was a little difficult for me, but anyway, so that was so cool. And then the woman, who runs the group sent me an email saying, this was great that you came. If you have any ideas for the group, So I just spent about half an hour just writing out some ideas. For example, what she does is so amazing. And I told her, she's got a unique gift. Not everybody's like this, but that she could. I could read you the message. Yeah, I'm going to read you the message that I sent her because I think it's got such great ideas and it's definitely worth reading. I can't minimize the screen. Hold on. I will be right there. I just got to get to my meetup because it's, through meetup you message people basically, to communicate. Hold on. Okay. I can't see myself because now I'm looking at the page and I'm looking at my dinner, because I'm not going to have time to eat and attend that group, even a little late. So it's just waiting there tempting me, whatever. It's like, you know, chickpeas, vegetables, tahini sauce, and some spices and stuff. Looks good. Okay. So, all right, Kirsten, thank you so much for what is probably the sweetest message I've ever received. I was up all night Zooming with the woman I mentioned I think I'm falling in love with, so I didn't get to respond to your questions, but please know that I'll do so more completely after I get some sleep. Okay, that was last night I sent her that, all right. My one suggestion for now is that you teach some of us how to lead a group, and the exercise is as close to how you did so yesterday as possible. And that was grammatically incorrect, whatever. You're totally, wonderfully amazing, double exclamation point. Okay, so hi again, Kristen. This I just wrote about half an hour ago. You run the group so well already and have such strong intuition about what's best. It's not easy to think of ways to improve the events. Let me first answer your questions and then offer a few more thoughts. So her question was, what kinds of events, experiences would you love to join? And I said, eye gazing with certain specific theme in mind, like feeling love, happiness, humor, playfulness, sincerity, etc., while gazing. It might be a good idea to experiment with not asking the couple to share their experience once everyone re-enters the room. Okay, many more questions like the rose, bud, thorn one, but you may want to keep it very positive and only sporadically invite thorny, problem-directed thoughts. Here are some question ideas. What does the world need most right now? How is Zoom powerfully changing our world? What do we all have in common? I'm sure you'll easily come up with many more awesome ones. Excuse me. I hardly had anything to drink. No coffee right. All right, so like the next question that she posed to me, and I hope she posed these same questions to other people in the group, because like, you know, that's a brilliant idea to just like get the group's input like that. So what areas of your life are challenging you most during these times? Help me understand the types of tools that will most helpful to share. Okay, as I mentioned, I'm in the process of falling in love because I tend to live in my head much more than in my heart. There's a fortunately pleasant but definitely steep learning curve there. I also struggle to find ways to assuage people's fears regarding what the world will be like post-coronavirus. I couldn't be more optimistic, but it's not easy to convince people that because, for example, there are already 32 million unemployment claims once we reopen the economy, probably starting in January when Trump's no longer in office, there will be a massive government jobs program on the scale of FDR's New Deal Works Projects Administration. And many of these new jobs will be about finally launching the battle against climate change. I should have wrote more, and this is cool. It may sound like a crazy idea, but I'll be advocating for a federal Department of Love and Happiness. That's a cool idea. I hope she likes that. Okay, are there any days, times that work best for you to join events? Okay, and I just say like late afternoons and early evenings work best for me because I open up my room at 9, whatever. All right, back to my first suggestion that you train people to do what you do. You certainly have unique talents and abilities that aren't so teachable in a short amount of time, but to the extent that you can do this, I suggest women leaders as much as possible. You'll be amplifying the wonderfulness of your events. There's a saying in the 60s about giving a fish, what was it? There's a saying in the 60s about giving someone a fish being good, but teaching someone how to fish being better. Again, your wisdom, intuition, and ability to create a transformative, positive rapport are not gifts that are common, but you're scaling up in that way as much as possible would be amazing. And I ended with, I'll send you more ideas as they come to me. Love, George. Okay, so anyway, now I'm back. Okay. I'm trying to read this like I'm like, I just noticed like, cause like I'm conscious of how I look, you know, when I see myself, and like so I just noticed I should have done. I should have. I can press Control, you know, plus button, whatever, and that would have just expanded the the text so I could like read from here. Like, you know, I'm image conscious. I mean, this is TV, you know. And actually, this shirt that you're seeing here, it's not this color. You know, it's more of kind of like a Kelly green, you know, Irish green, whatever. But like, I've got these LED lights up there, and then I've got a small incandescent, another LED over there. And so they don't, you know, they kind of change the colors. I don't know. All right, what else? So anyway, so that group is amazing, and I hope that not only does she host many more of those meetings, but that she will recruit others to have these, let's say, throughout the day, maybe 2 or 3 a day, you know. And so, because I want to talk, you know, about why I think Zoom is so amazing, so going to powerfully change the world. I've been talking to people from all over the world. I mean, like, you know, I go into this Japanese room, they're learning to speak English. And actually, I had a debate with a Trump supporter there. This guy was a rich Japanese, and like, you know, he's just like the Trump supporters here. So you learn that, hey, you know, people in other countries are, you know, but generally speaking, you know, like, I mean, so many countries, the UK, Canada, England, I said already, Spain. I mean, so many countries, you know, Australia, and it's just like, this is the first time in the history. I mean, like, television connected people in a certain way, because television showed people from different cultures how other people, you know, other people in different cultures live. But and newspapers, of course, connect people with information about other countries. But, you know, and we've had this technology, you know, for years. It's not like the technology is brand new, but Zoom, the genius of Zoom and their creators, their owners, their developers, is that they made it so easy to use. And of course, you know, this is circumstantial. You know, Zoom existed for 10 years before this, and it was this coronavirus challenge. And I call it a challenge because it's certainly, you know, uh, it's a threat. It's a, you know, it's a terrible thing in many ways, but it has a challenging aspect that it basically put us in a position where we had to reach out to people. And, you know, unfortunately, many of us haven't discovered Zoom yet. Um, but those of us who have, and I imagine that those numbers are going to be scaling up pretty substantially. It's a way of communicating in real time with real people across the world. And there's a lot of young people, there's older people, people of every color, race, ethnicity, I mean, class, social class, profession. I mean, it is so cool because, like, you know, for example, like if you work a certain job, generally speaking, you're surrounded with a very kind of like narrow niche of people who have, let's say, your training. Let's say you're in banking, or you're a lawyer, or you work at a supermarket, wherever. You know, they're generally, people are pretty much, you know, you have things in common with them. Whereas like on these Zooms, it's kind of like going to a party where there may be people from, again, all walks of life, have different experiences. It is so cool. Okay. So, all right, got about 14 minutes and 26 seconds. And so like my neighbor's coming in. It's unfortunate, like, you know, that this nice couple, a young couple, married couple, that, but, you know, they're great people. We don't know each other. And like, I don't know my other neighbors. They don't know me. And, you know, this is like how these buildings are. And I want to go back to another idea that I had suggested. I haven't done it. Maybe, I don't know if I will do it or not. It's bouncing around in my head. But I'm thinking of like having a Zoom party, make like an invitation, slip it under everybody's door. Naturally, I'll wear gloves and make sure the whole process is sanitary, so not to scare people. But basically, you know, just tell them about Zoom. Many people don't know it, and just give them a few instructions on how it works. Provide the link to the room and say, like, you know, on Tuesday and Thursday of next week, I'm going to host a Zoom party. You know, again, I may not do it because like there's this expression called high fences make good neighbors. It's like when people living in apartments in a way need their privacy, especially in such contentious times like this, you know, with Trump, you know, just dividing everyone, being such a schmuck. But if we could do it, it would be a great pushback against that kind of divisive, brainless mentality. And I can't speak more negatively about Trump because, like, yeah, I think he will not stop insulting people. So, like, I think, I think, one, what is it? There's a two-way street. I mean, I think we should start insulting the hell out of Republicans. It's not like, we are like fighting a civil war. It's not like we're up in arms against them. But to the extent that they're treating us like this, after a while, you fight back. You teach them that, like, hey, you want to play that game, we can play it too. So anyway, but for the most part, I'm staying away from politics. Not really. I mean, I'm keeping abreast of the news every day. Again, I read headlines: New York Times, Washington Post, NPR, CNN, Google News, and those, and then by topics. For example, I'm interested in what's happening with the factory farming, and more articles are coming out connecting the farming of animals with pandemic threats. So it's too early for this to really emerge into the public spotlight because we're still in this crisis. We've got to get through this, and only as we're moving away from this do we have the bandwidth to consider what to do next and how to prevent it. But it seems like it's going to happen, and that's very, very fortunate. But so yeah, I keep abreast of the news, but I try. It's very rare that I'll go into in depth into an article. Basically, the headlines pretty much say what needs to be said. Like journalists love to write. A lot of times they write a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be said or whatever. Okay, 11 minutes. And if I sound excited, it's because I've been feeling a bit rushed for time for this last hour, knowing that I had to, record this. And I love doing this. I mean, like, it's because I was up till 7 in the morning talking that, my schedule is a little bit off. But yeah, no, knowing that I had to do this and then attend my friend's group, which started about a minute ago. I guess I'll be 10 minutes late. And then I've got to open up my room at 9, and then I want to call my friend, like, at 7, so like a lot of stuff going on tonight. And, actually, my social life, because of Zoom, I met this person that I spoke with last night, and I'll speak with hopefully again tonight through Zoom. And all these, what I'm talking about, this other group and the group that I'm going to at 6, this is all Zoom. My whole social life, except maybe taking a walk and saying hi to someone, is Zoom. But the irony, the amazing thing about this is, like, connecting with people on Zoom, maybe in many ways, no, definitely is in many ways a more powerful connection than connecting with people in person. Let me explain one reason why, and there's others. Nonverbal communication forms a great part of interaction, of conversation. In other words, we're not just listening to what a person says, like when we're on the phone. We're also, in a conversation, we're looking at them, they're looking at us. And, just we have micro emotions, these like very subtle emotions that are, we're not even conscious of them. And then we have, it's just the expressions that we use, and our faces just communicate so much additional information. So what happens is, like, in these Zoom rooms, we're connecting and, like, we're understanding more fully. Because the other thing is, a lot of times in person, let's say I have a group of people, everybody's not looking at each other a lot. But like in Zoom, you have this grid view where, like, anytime you can see everyone in the room. Let's say there's 4 or 5 people, you can see them very clearly. If it's 12, they get a little smaller and all. But let's say you want to, like, just listen to and watch and communicate with the person who's talking. So then there's a button that allows you to zoom in only on the speaker, and the rest of the room is in a small block or a line of images. But so yeah, especially in that speaker view. And again, I pushed, I have my computer connected to my 42-inch television. And so like I'm lying back, you know, kind of like watching TV, but like, you know, basically what I'm trying to say is like, I'm getting so much more information about what they're saying, how they feel about what they're saying, and all. And the same is, they're getting the same information from me. That's one reason it's so much more powerful. Another reason is that trying to get rushed through this. It's not like, you know, it's like I'm talking faster, as if my talking faster is going to make the time go faster. All right. So, all right, another really cool thing about this is that everybody is in their living room or down their kitchen or walking around. I mean, like, you know, this is so much more convenient than having to drive or take a bus or a subway or something to get to a party, you know. And then, people are pretty cool. You know, we come when we want, we leave when we want, you know, it's not, you know, but yeah, and I'm going to try to come up with more, you know, very positive aspects of Zoom. Maybe I'll write an article about it, because I have a mailing list. You know, I initially, you know, just surfed through many news organization sites, so I got their email, you know, addresses for the first email. That took a while. It took a long while, but now they're all in a folder. And I just like click one and click reply and change the subject line, and all of a sudden I'm sending them a brand new message. So, you know, I've got like I've got this like this platform for you know, communicating with these news organizations, giving them ideas. Hopefully, that I think that they will value and run with it if they're worthy. So, so what else? All right. Well, it is 6:05 p.m. 5 minutes and 51 seconds left, and I don't know what to say, but it's my show, so I don't have to say anything. I could sit here and you know what I'm gonna do? All right, this is cool. I'm gonna like gaze at no. Eh, I was thinking I was gonna gaze at myself for as long as I could, but that, you know, on second thought, that may be a good idea, but to me, I gotta like, you know, it's gotta bounce around in my mind a bit first. But so what do I do? I've been very diligent about playing my bass guitar. I'm getting good. So the way I play bass is like the way lead guitarists play lead, except a lead guitarist I found out I was trying for years to figure out how to play lead through entire songs. I mean, if it's possible, you have to be really good. But I discovered that like why it wasn't possible for me was that lead guitar is in a higher scale. It's one octave higher than bass guitar. And that made all the difference in the world. So my style of bass playing is you know, I play lead guitar and bass through the entire song, but I'm able to do it in a way that doesn't really clash or draw attention from the main melodies and the singers. And so like, I'm getting good. Yeah. I mean, I'm 60s music, stuff like that. I just like played the Yes album. The Yes album is amazing. I don't know when it came out. I think like mid 70s, early 70s. And these guys are like classically trained musicians that formed a rock band, and they have a lot of experience in jazz, and the the quality of their playing and the complexity of their compositions is, I thought that was where music was going to continue going in the mid 70s. But then when, you know, we got disco and we were dancing, and disco was great. We should really, you know, it's interesting. I wonder if like in Zoom one can have dance parties. I don't know. Okay, so 3:36 left, 3 minutes and 36 seconds. And so I'm glad to finally be doing this. And like, this is going to be, you know, processing, you know, for a while. And I don't know whether I should like, I think I should wait until it ends processing before I enter this room that I'm about 10 minutes late for. Because, you know, I'm afraid that if oh no, I can maybe, Um, can I use a different computer? Yeah, I'll use a different computer to, to talk to them until the processing on this computer is done. Because I'll use my phone, really, because I don't want to keep them waiting much longer than I have already. I hope you guys are doing well. If you haven't, gleaned this already, absolutely use Zoom. Have Zoom parties. I tend to really love just meeting people and just, having that sharing experience. And I don't know if you know, I got to check it out. I got to show you this. I was doing this before here, actually. So I'm going to show you a background. I'm going to change my background. I hope it works. Sometimes it doesn't work and it looks very, surrealistically weird. Um, and so for some reason, it is not working. I mean, I don't know what's going on. Let me try a different one. That was a photo that I took at Mamaroneck Harbor. So now I've got the moon thing. But what's happening is on my screen, I'm seeing the photo. You can see it to the left, but my room is my room, whatever's still here. That may be a glitch in the software, whatever. So anyway, and let me just take off the virtual background, because what it does, it makes the image, kind of hazy, image of the person. A minute and a half left. Very cool. So yeah, because I try to do this first thing, of each day whenever I wake up. But I just I had to write that, message to that woman, and then I got a phone call, and I had to eat whatever and all that stuff. But all right, so again, we're Monday through Friday. White Plains Community Media, Channel 76, Optimum 45, Verizon. And if you live in Hartsdale, Scarsdale, Ardsley, Irvington, a few, Tarrytown, I think, a few other towns, and you get Verizon, you can see it there as well. And, we upload them. You can see these also on the White Plains Community Media's website. They have all these episodes there. And in time, I will have them all on YouTube. If you want to catch a back issue, back episode. All right, so what else? No, things are going well. Things are going well. This is a difficult time for us all, but let's make the best of it, and let's just create a much, much better world as a result. This is an opportunity. After the depression, we created a much better world, and after the coronavirus, we can do the same thing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.